Hello everybody, Tom Cosm here. Got a couple of cool quick tips for you today on getting expressive characteristic type sounds out of your drums, your drum racks, your impulse devices when you only have one sample per rack. How to get kind of different sounding hits and make it more human, more expressive. I've been sent this cool sample pack called Hang Drum 2015 by DJ Digital Skunk. It's a very nice recording, very cool pack of hang drum sounds. So I've just made a MIDI clip with some basic notes and I'll play that for you now. Very good, but the velocity isn't attached to anything here. Now usually the velocity is attached to the volume in samplers, so when the velocity is down here the note is more quiet. But what we're going to do is we're going to attach that velocity to the cutoff filter instead, because if we go over here, each one of these drum racks has a simpler in it, a simpler device. Just close those down for you. Whoops, here it is. We have a simpler device, each one of those drum racks has one, and each one of those simpler devices has a filter area. So we can turn the filter on, and the filter area has a velocity parameter. So if we bring this up to 100%, it means that velocity is going to control the frequency, or the cutoff point of that filter. So that's good. We've done it for one of the drum rack pads, but if we right click, we can choose copy value to siblings, which will copy it to all of the other simplers within that drum rack. So we need to do that for both of our parameters. If we change the filter and the frequency and the resonance, we need to copy the value to the siblings as well. So what that means is if I go into my clip and play with the velocity, that cutoff is really going to change it and we get different sounding notes. Okay, so this is without velocity. I've made another clip here with a little bit of velocity, so let's see how that sounds. So instantly got a bit more movement. We've got more kind of different sounding hits available to us by attaching that velocity to the cutoff. But I'm going to take it a step further. This is a neat trick. So I'm going to create a new MIDI track here, and I'm going to copy that with velocity clip over. But instead of putting a sampler into this MIDI track, I'm going to put a synthesizer and operator because I want to get it to play a sine wave. So I've got a simple sine wave here. Let's see what it sounds like. Solo the track. I'm going to bring the coarse value up because it doesn't matter what the pitch is at this stage. Okay, now if we go over into this global area here, we can actually change the velocity, assign the velocity to the oscillator volume A and bring the amount up to 100. So now the volume should match what we had over here with the drums. Okay, and if we add the Max for Live device envelope follower, it analyzes the audio being output from the operator synthesizer and gives us a nice line that we can map to anything within Ableton Live pretty much. So let's see that line. Bring the gain up a bit so we can see it a bit more. So that line is a representation of all these velocity points. That's cool. What I'm going to do is send the audio of that track to sends only because we don't want that sine wave to play out the master out. But this way there's no actual sine wave playing, but this envelope follower still picks up the velocity. So now we can go ahead and map that to anything we like. And over on this track I have a new audio effect track. I've got a clean chain, so just the clean audio goes through, but I've got a corpus, and a corpus kind of adds a bit of a tail to it. You pick a certain type of substance, like a beam or a marimba or a string, you tune it, and then you give it a decay time. So it sounds like this. And I've tuned this to D. You can just tune it to something not in key. And you can change the material. So that decay is quite cool. That adds a bit of a ring to notes. So if I go over here, I'm going to name this dummy velocity, and I attach this envelope follower to that decay, every time there's a note with a high velocity, it's going to make it ring. So let's see how that sounds. Bring the gain down a little bit. And we've got a reverb after it. I just put that in to smooth it out a bit. You can also turn on the LFO, which is quite fun. So this moves the tune up and down at a rate of quarter notes. So there you go. You can attach that envelope follower to anything that's mappable in Ableton Live. It could be on an EQ. You could raise the volume of the highs when there's a really nice loud hit. I mean, that gives it a bit of a twang, like someone's hitting the drum really hard. You could have it on a delay time if you wanted something really crazy. Actually, let's do that really quick because that sounds fun. I'm going to add a ping pong delay, turn off this audio effect rack, make the delay time not in sync mode, so it's really fast. Feedback, lots of feedback. Let's map that envelope follower to the time. And change the maximum really short. Change it to pitch mode. There you go. That's my tip for today. Hope you liked it. Tom Cosm.